Dr. Aphra issue 31 sees the titular doctor plead for 000 to return to her as the bomb beeps away. She causes him to turn around when she reboots BT, getting him to rush back. Aphra says she brought him back with his logic matrix, making Trip wonder if his friend is under Aphra's control, but BT soon proves he isn't, shooting Aphra in the leg with a disc. Trip says that Aphra has taught him that one doesn't feel one's own pointlessness quite so deeply when one has comrades to share it with. The people watching find that heartwarming, but Evazan doesn't, finding it quite disappointing. Trip picks up Aphra and the three leave the area, but the droid wishes the people watching them were screaming rather than cheering. Aphra knows that with BT they won't get to Professor Prexo in time, but luckily Volada arrives, offering them a lift on her worm. The girl apologizes for betraying Aphra since the Empire offered her lots of food, but Aphra says it's fine, but she is still mad at her. Trip tries to take over and say how they should deal with her treachery, but Aphra says that they need Clam's worm if they are to make it to Prexo in time. Aphra says that if no one trusts no one, then their enemies will win. The group use the worm to traverse the city, making it to Professor Prexo's office. Getting there, however, they find the doctor is off-world. The Empire are waiting for them, however, so Trip and Aphra tell BT to annihilate them. Minister Penita Vor continues her personal log meanwhile, citing cleaner ways to control the population than what she and the propaganda office tried to do on Milvain. Ways that wouldn't have allowed things like this to escalate. Meanwhile, BT obliterates the troopers as the spore-infected Tam Posla returns, killing his way through the troopers as well to get to Aphra and enact justice. Trip, however, manages to get behind him, stabbing him and making him fire his blaster at Volada. In Vor's quarters, she watches the stream, continuing her personal log by saying that she hoped to use Aphra's footage to turn back the tide of popular opinion on Milvain, but it didn't work as Aphra dived in front of the blaster bolt meant for Clam, taking the bolt in front of the stream for everyone to see her selfless act. Because of it, the mobs took to the street and rioted against the law officers and Empire. Trip comes to Aphra's side, asking why she did that, and Aphra says that she works well under pressure. Vor meanwhile is alerted by her guard that the council session has begun and she will join it soon, but she resumes her log, knowing her superior can tell if someone has hidden agendas, which is why she makes logs as a contingency of sorts. Aphra meanwhile is dying, so she tells Trip to get the civilians away from them thanks to their bombs, but the droid refuses since they will be going together in the end, so he doesn't want to ruin it by being selfless. The bombs finish counting down, but they don't go off. Elsewhere, Win-Loss and Nox have caught Evazan and Ponder, deactivating the bombs and noting Evazan has no money in which to pay them, just like Aphra said. The hunters found them thanks to Professor Prexo, who traced the broadcast signal back to the source. Prexo kills the broadcast as Aphra and Trip learn that the bombs are inert. Vor meanwhile has hoped that one last betrayal from Trip would happen, but instead he leaves with BT, telling Aphra goodbye and good luck. Clam rushes to Aphra's side as Vor ends her recording, wondering how Aphra, dead or alive, will be the most useful to her. Leaving her quarters, she heads to the meeting, apologizing to her boss since she herself had to deal with the problems on Milvain. Her boss, revealed to be Emperor Palpatine, says that Vor has always been swift to embrace doctrine, since it doesn't pay to rely on lesser souls and trust is just the preserve of fools and corpses. Dr. Aphra issue 31 ended the Milvain arc by bringing together literally everything that has been after the duo across this arc and even beyond this arc. It was so cool to see all of this action and a great last minute cliffhanger twist for the hunters to stop the bombs. It kept me on the edge of my seat throughout this issue. I gotta say, this arc has probably been my favorite of the book so much. It had everything from action to romance to humor and even a little bit of horror there for a minute with BT and 000. The ending with Aphra suffering from a blaster wound was a great cliffhanger and I can't wait to see what happens next to the adventurer. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.